exploring school culture of public schools in Tanzania. Have you ever wondered just how your educational experience would have been different if you were raised somewhere else rather than in your country? Today we are visiting Mtambani Primary School located in Tabata, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania.
Mimi ni mwalimu Celestine Joseph Bidauli, mwalimu mkuu wa shule ya msingi Mtambani. Mtambani ni shule ya msingi ambayo ilianza mwaka 2002.
A little bit before 6:30 a.m., the students arrive at the school compound, not only with their school bags, but also with their brooms. The first activity in the agenda is cleaning. Cleaning is part of the common school culture in Tanzania public schools. Around here, students are not only responsible for their schoolwork, but also responsible for keeping the school compound clean. This includes sweeping the compound, mopping the classes and the offices, and even watering the school garden. In some schools, in addition to cleaning, students are also responsible for preparing the faculty's breakfast. The second bell rings at 7:30 a.m. This bell warns the students to drop whatever they are doing and scramble to assembly. During assembly, the students align themselves depending on their grade and their class. Class leaders walk around to inspect the lines, making sure that each student is standing on the appropriate spaces. Satisfied from what she is seeing, the class leader informs the student body to get ready to sing the national anthem, Mungu Ibariki Afrika, which means God bless Africa. Together, the band and the student body proudly sings the 56-year-old song. After the national anthem, the next thing in the agenda is the school prayer. All students from both religions, Islam and Christianity, are to participate. As you may have noticed, the Christian students bring their palms together, forming praying hands, while the Muslim students form cup hands. At the end of the prayer, the Christian students say Amen, then drop their arms, and the Muslim students say Amina and touch their faces. The band plays certain beats depending on what is taking place. This is the least favored beat by the students. This particular song normally raises anxiety among those who fell short in meeting the school's dress code. During an inspection, each class leader is responsible for inspecting each student in their class, making sure that the school dress code is followed. Any violation to the dress code, such as not having very short haircut, regardless if you're a male or a female, not having the right pair of socks, in this case, is the blue and white stripes ones, not having the school label at the pocket of your shirt, not wearing the right shoes, black flats, and even failing to iron your uniform or wearing a dirty one. Any violation to these offenses will lead to a punishment. The students who are caught with these offenses are kicked out of their line and forced to go in front, gathering in their own separate groups, where they will further get inspected by the teachers, and depending on how many offenses they have committed, they will be beaten with sticks by the disciplinary teacher. It is now 8 a.m. This song is indication that the assembly is over. Now the students should get ready to march to their classrooms. With the permission from the student leader, one grade after the other is dismissed. There are 8 periods in a day with a total of 8 subjects that rotate daily.
Kipindi chetu sisi hapa ni dakika 40 kwa madarasa yafuatayo. Darasa la 3 mpaka la 7 ni dakika 40. Darasa la kwanza na la pili nusu saa.
On Tuesdays, the 4th period at 10 a.m. gets replaced with a religion session. The students are divided depending on their religion. In this case, it is between Islam and Christianity. And depending on which denomination you're raised in, the Christian students head to the appropriate classes.
Umuhimu wa kuingiza somo la dini ulikuwa nini?
Umuhimu wake ni kujenga tabia njema kwa watoto. Kujenga uadilifu. Unawafundisha watoto mapema kumjua Mungu na kujiheshimu.
At 10:40 a.m. to 11 a.m., the students get a break. During this time, the students get a bite to eat from local stores, get to stretch their bodies, and even participate in games. Most male students play soccer, while the female student plays skip rope. All the subjects except for English subject are taught in Swahili, which is the national language spoken in Tanzania. However, this system switches after primary school. From 8th grade to higher education, all the subjects are taught in English, except for the subject on Swahili. This is because Tanzanian public education system is bilingual, and it has been so since 1961, when the country received its independence from the British rule. And even though the Swahili language has worked to unify the country against tribalism, this dual language system plays a big role in the decline of student performances in public education sector. Students oftentimes end up getting confused and not being able to understand what the teachers are teaching because the language barrier between the Swahili language and the English language is a massive one. Headmaster Bidauli tries to narrow this bridge through offering more English classes to his students.
Katika shule hizi za msingi tunafundisha pia na lugha ya Kiingereza, lakini silabasi yake inaanzia darasa la 3. Kwa hiyo wanafundishwa Kiingereza tena kwa bidii, tena vipindi vyake ni vingi nadhani kuliko vipindi vingine.
Apart from the language barrier, the students face a series of obstacles that stand in the way of their education.
Mambo yanayowasukuma wanafunzi nyuma mazingira wanayotoka. Wakiwa wale wanafunzi wanatoka kwenye mazingira duni, hakuna mambo ya kuyawashawishi wao wajifunze zaidi. Kuna mambo yao yanayoendana na mazingira yao. Kwa hiyo hivi vitu kidogo vinawafanya wapungue.
Following 2016, President John Magufuli declared free public school education to all students from the primary to the secondary level.
Wanafunzi walioko katika hii shule wanatoka katika mazingira ya hali zote. Kuna wale wenye maisha ya wastani ambao wana uwezo, kuna wale wenye uwezo kidogo mkubwa, na kuna wengi kabisa wanatoka kwenye mazingira duni, na ndio lengo la serikali kuwasaidia wale ambao wanatoka katika uwezo wa chini kabisa ili nao waweze kufundishwa.
Even though free education policy has been around since 2002, back then the students were required to contribute a certain amount towards their education, in addition to being responsible for buying their own school books and school supplies. Under President Magufuli, this is no longer the case.
Elimu bure inamaanisha kwamba mwanafunzi hatakiwi kugharimia kutoa pesa ili aweze kusoma. Mwanafunzi anachogharimia ni kununua.
Free education has encouraged many parents to register their children, especially those parents living below the poverty level. This new policy has also presented some serious challenges to the schools impacted. The schools are finding themselves flooded with students while the space isn't available.
Mapungufu yake ambayo yametokana na elimu bure ni ongezeko la wanafunzi. Kwa upande wa shule yetu sisi hatukuathirika sana kwa sababu tunavyo vyumba vya kutosha. Madawati si haba, tunayo yanatutosha. Lakini kuna baadhi ya maeneo elimu bure wameathirika kwa sababu wanafunzi wameandikishwa wengi, vyumba havitoshi. Kwa upande wetu hapa shuleni elimu bure tumeathirika kidogo sana kwa upande wa walimu. Walimu hawatoshi, haswa katika darasa la kwanza. Darasa la kwanza tunayo mikondo 3. Wastani kwa kila darasa wanafunzi 80. Wanatakiwa wanafunzi 45.
Headmaster Midauli is soon to retire. However, he has a dream, hopes of what the school could look and function as. One of his hopes is to someday be able to supply each of the classrooms with electricity so the students wouldn't have to endure studying in the dark.
Ninafikiria kwamba sasa tuna umeme usambae madarasa yote.
His biggest dream is seeing the school grow to become more than just a school and rather an informational center. He strongly feels that this can be accomplished by having a decent library.
Mimi ninachotarajia shule hii ni ifanye kuwa kituo cha elimu, kituo kamili cha elimu. Kwa namna gani? Kwanza tuweze kuwa na library ambayo sio kwa lengo tu kwa ajili ya wanafunzi, iwe kwa ajili pia na watu wote wanaozunguka eneo. Yaani iwe kama vile information center. Kama tutapata kompyuta, tutapata vitabu, tayari tutatengeneza kituo kizuri ambacho watu wanakuja kujisomea. Kama ilivyo sasa library eti iko huko mjini, mimi sipendi. Ukitaka kusoma vitabu uende mjini, Tanganyika library, mimi sipendi.
At 2 p.m., the bell rings to inform the students that they should pack up their bags and run to the assembly.
Saa 8 kamili inagongwa kengele na wanakusanyika tena pale walipokusanyika asubuhi. Wanaagwa na mwalimu wa zamu. Kama kuna maagizo yoyote yanayohusu utekelezaji kesho, mwalimu wa zamu anawaambia wanafunzi. Kisha wanaagwa kwenda majumbani.
Unlike the morning assembly, the afternoon assembly isn't geared to punishing the students. Rather, it's intended to act as a regroup session. During this time, a disciplinary teacher takes the time to give the students a few notes, such as reminding those who were late this morning to not make the same mistake tomorrow, anybody who was pulled out from the assembly line in the morning for breaking a dress code, to make sure that the uniform is improved by the next day. In addition, the disciplinary teacher warns the students of whether tomorrow is going to be a different school day, either a half day or if students will be visited by a special guest. I hope that you have enjoyed your time as you learned about Mtambani Primary School culture. I hope that you have noted a few similarities between your school culture and theirs. Thank you for joining me.